Hey, how's it going? Nat here, coming up on Newsbreak. An update on the floods in New South Wales, the problem with junk in space, and a festival of colour. But before we get started, feel free to hit subscribe. The rain might be starting to ease, but the floods are certainly not over in New South Wales. Many parts of the state are still being told to evacuate, and experts say flooding could get worse over the next few days. Kale caught up with some kids in New South Wales who have been affected by the floods.
A week ago, these guys popped down to Crescent Head Caravan Park for a holiday. Now they're stuck.
The roads are closed because of the floods.
9 hours and 852 kilometres south in Temora, Billy has experienced a lot of the same.
In some of the paddocks, it looked like a little dam, and there was heaps of dirt that had washed up, making it look like the water was washing up to a bit of land, but it was actually just heaps of dirt.
All over New South Wales, there are stories like these, with more than 20,000 people having to be evacuated from their homes.
Have you got road access out?
When it was at its worst, what was the weather like there?
But pouring down rain, so we'd had to put sandbags on the gate.
Aeroplanes and tractors delivered food and supplies, and they went on a boat.
But I was also a bit excited because when there was heaps of water going across a few roads, there was yabbies going across as well. So me and Dad went over to the roads after school and we caught maybe like almost 50 yabbies.
Today, blue skies and some sunshine have finally returned in parts of the state.
It's been pretty good today. That we haven't had any rain today yet, but there's still big puddles all around the school.
But even with the sun back out, it's still going to be a while before the floodwater clears. And for many, the cleanup from the flood is only just beginning.
Australia could soon host the biggest sports crowd the world's seen since the start of the pandemic. Up to 75,000 people will be allowed into the MCG to watch Carlton take on Collingwood on Thursday night. This week, Victoria recorded its first day of being completely COVID-free in 2021. There's a lot of rubbish on Earth, but did you know that there's also a lot of rubbish in space? And it's been causing plenty of problems. Now, one Japanese company reckons it's found the answer. Joe checks it out.
It's endangering our citizens, attacking our technology, and surrounding our planet. It's space junk.
Okay, that's a little dramatic. But space junk really is a thing, and it really is a problem. It's made up of things like old, broken satellites and bits of rockets and spacecraft from previous missions. Right now, there are thousands of tons of junk orbiting above Earth, some travelling at speeds of around 28,000 k's an hour. So if they run into working satellites, it doesn't end well. So how do we clean it up? Well, by sending more stuff into space. Meet Elsa D, a little gold-wrapped satellite with a brain. Elsa D can figure out where space junk is and grab it with this nifty robotic arm. Then, when its mission's complete and it's collected enough junk, it heads back into the Earth's atmosphere, where it burns up along with all the rubbish it's collected. If Elsa D is successful in its mission over the next couple of months, we may start to see more of these tiny space janitors up in the stars, helping make space travel safer.
Let's see if we can't try something a little bit different now, eh? Hey, fasten your seatbelts because these next stories are colourful. Holi is a festival that's all about colour. Well, kinda. It's actually an important Hindu festival celebrating the arrival of spring and of good triumphing over evil. But colour's definitely a big part. It usually only lasts for a day, but in some of India's northern districts, the celebrations last for almost 10 days. However, COVID's still causing some big problems in India, so it's expected more people will stay home and away from crowds this year. Banksy has just broken a Banksy record, with this artwork selling at auction for a whopping $30 million.
Sold. Well done. Congratulations.
It was gifted to a hospital in the UK last year as a tribute to workers in the British Health Service. The proceeds will go towards projects for healthcare workers and patients. And finally, buckle up because you're about to meet one pretty colourful character. Surfboards, goats, you can probably work this one out. Pismo the goat and his owner Dana ride the 7 seas, or maybe just the Californian coast, all in the name of fun and encouraging people to get out onto the water. Well, that's all the news we've got for you today. In the meantime, hit subscribe. Figure out how to not make this black and white. See you tomorrow.